Hey, let's talk about the Nuremberg and Mathai and Nuremberg and later experiments and how they helped to crack the genetic code. So at the time, scientists knew that genetic code was made up of codons that are 3 nucleotides long, but they weren't sure which codons specified which amino acids, so this was the big question that needed answering. So in 1961, Johann Heinrich Mathai and Marshall Nuremberg designed an experiment that became an integral step to answering the question. Their experiment was centered around homopolymers. They used an enzyme called polynucleotide phosphorylase to create synthetic mRNAs that only had one type of nucleotide, hence the name homopolymer, such as AAA, CCC, etc. Then they mixed those homopolymers with cytoplasm, ribosomes, one radioactively labeled amino acid, and 19 unlabeled ones, all in a test tube. Next, translation took place in the mixture, and then they filtered the protein they got and checked it for radioactivity. They repeated those steps with all 20 amino acids, and the tube that was radioactively labeled at the end told them which amino acid was coded for by the homopolymer they used. For example, the first one they discovered was a chain of uracil coding for phenylalanine. But then Mathai decided to move back to Germany. I'm moving. No. It's not me, it's you. And then later on, in 1964, Nuremberg began working with Philipp Later on another experiment to discover the specific amino acids for codons that weren't just homopolymers. This time they had new technology on their side, and they now knew that just one codon of mRNA would bind to a ribosome. So again, they used their synthetic mRNAs with known codons, and they would mix them with ribosomes and tRNAs attached to amino acids. The ribosome would bind the mRNA and the tRNA that it coded for, and then Nuremberg and Later would filter the mixture. The bound mRNAs were caught by the filter, and this would tell Nuremberg and Later which amino acid was bound to the specific codon they had selected at the beginning, such as GUU for valine. Both of these experiments were monumental steps towards cracking the entire code, which, with the help of other investigations, was finished in 1968.